Welcome to Fangs Out once again, my peeps. We're continuing Mental Illness Month and dedicated to one of my YouTubers, very loyal and awesome dude, Alex. And Alex brought up this film immediately. Boom! It sparked my head that this needed to be moved up on the order. There's so many films I want to talk about, but American Psycho is certainly, an iconic, very, very, it evolved from this wonderful novel, by Bret Easton Ellis, and it became, this. I don't know how to call it. It's kind of a psychological drama, mystery, horror, dark comedy. It's complex. It's very complex. So complex that the producers were trying to get all kinds of people to be there. Before they thought of Mary Herron. They were even having talks with David Cronenberg. So can you guys imagine what this film would have been with Cronenberg directing it? Probably a lot more sexual, but I could see how Cronenberg could have worked with this story. Also, Oliver Stone. Was also in the works but did not work out. Leo DiCaprio was thought about playing Patrick Bateman, but eventually, DiCaprio reportedly, I guess, left in favor of the movie The Beach. So Heron got Christian Bale to portray, the iconic Patrick Bateman, which is this yuppie, very wealthy New York, Wall Street investment banker, that egotistical asshole, with, so into himself, so, full of, how can I say, full of his own self. I mean, so materialistic that everything meant, in his world is so material that even a business card means a lot. And eventually, you can go around and see his system, being, the egotistical one. It's just so, into himself, doing, savage workouts to maintain a physique, looking at everybody else for approval, where even a haircut, could be a sign of superiority, and seeing to the cars they drive, the music they listen to, by the way, an outstanding, awesome, soundtrack for this as well. You got to listen to it. It's just so, he becomes so complacent to this thing that he just manifests as some sort of murderer, where he basically kills whatever doesn't construct his world. I mean, this movie, I kind of avoided talking about this movie for years because it just, sometimes it rather escapes me. It's this, obviously a metaphor of too much, of having too much, and just manifesting it in the use of murder, and being able to at the end trying to get a self punishment that evades him. I love the ending. Monologue is superb. Basically, he says that the punishment will always escape him, and there is no catharsis. and that his confession means nothing, something like that. I'm very paraphrasing what he basically he just always going to escape the punishment he deserves, and it goes to the mind of a narcissistic killer, being to the point of absurdity, and the things that actually saw a lot of Patrick Bateman on this. There's a real killer. Um, I think it was special on HBO or something. I can't remember. It's the Ice Cold or Ice Pick Killer. I forgot what it is. He did some. You guys probably know. I mean, if you remember who that was, kind of like you guys can just go ahead and correct me. But he talked about murderers in a sort of a way that basically, if you just pissed him off, or if something wasn't right with the world, and then the more the world becomes warped in some things, you can see no, the true you know hallucinations of an ATM machine talking to him, telling him to kill a cat, and Patrick obviously out of control, just looking for self punishment for his own uh, horrible lifestyle that he lives. That he believes that pretty much he has no personality. He just tries to mimic what supposedly is to be in fashion or cool, or very interesting. I mean, it's that's the thing that makes this book an awesome read, and I think I read some things where the writer didn't want this to be really made into a movie because people just want answers. She said, see, I'm paraphrasing. She says something like that, and this book kind of has no answers. It's just kind of like I was almost say that this is almost a case study, but well acted, you know, well directed, awesome music, awesome thrilling kills. I don't know where your take is on this film, but I would say this is a superb film, and it has become a cult film now, and it's truly out there with the amazing. I think it's called The Amazing Mr. Ripley, which let me go ahead and check out the title if it's called. But definitely, I'm talking for the next film. I'm talking about a couple of projects here. One is I want to see, because we touch on Oliver Stone. I want to touch on Natural Born Killers, and I definitely want to also, want to go Fight Club. I want to go Fight Club. I want to go Natural Born Killers, and is it called the Amazing Mr. Ripley? It's another film that kind of like I'm still looking it up to see if I don't know. It's not called, or is it called The Incredible Mr. Ripley or something like that? But with Matt Damon, and I'm definitely gonna look that up and talk about that one too, because it reminded me some of the things that it has in it. But definitely, as far as I can say about this film is there's nothing, um, it's very few films that so surreal, and so dark, and so that it evokes so many. It's called The Talented Mr. Ripley. So definitely, those are my next three films. So there's a lot more coming up in horror, mental illness month. So stay tuned for more.